It smells good here. Doris, what do we got?
Well, we've got the beginnings of a good Italian herb mixture. This is Greek oregano. I'm harvesting it in the vegetative stage with nice leaves and no seed pods or blooms. This is the bloom. We don't like to get it into this growth habit because it loses flavor. We should be harvesting that more often than what we are.
So if you've got the blossoms coming, you cut them off, keep it growing? Okay.
The second item that would go into an Italian herb mixture would be rosemary. Now this is a rosemary right here. It's an upright rosemary. What I harvest is the succulent growth. When it goes into the stemmy growth, the flavor's the same, but it's so stemmy people don't like to use it.
Very woody.
Right. While it's still in the succulent growth, you can use the stem and all and get flavor. The Mediterranean shepherds used to use rosemary a lot with their lamb. When they grilled a lamb, they'd skewer it on a rosemary branch. And today, lamb and rosemary seem to go hand in hand.
Now, the rosemary's not hardy.
As a whole, they're not hardy. They don't like our cool, damp winters here in Oklahoma. They get root rot real easy. We're trying out a variety of rosemary here called ARP that's supposed to be more winter hardy. And we're going to see what happens to it this winter.
Okay.
The basis in our Italian mixtures is basil. You can't have tomato sauce without basil. To harvest basil, you can harvest it up to the bud stage. But once it goes into bloom, it seems to have a coarser flavor. When I harvest, I just snap off. And it just keeps on growing and growing.
These young stems are real succulent, just come right up real easily. The succulent growth again, and you can just chop it up. And on TV, you see the chefs chopping up the food real fine. All I do is chop this up fine, real fine, releases all the oil flavors. Now, if you keep missing and don't keep it pinched back, a lot of basil looks like this up here. It starts blooming and goes to seed.
It goes to seed, and it's awfully hard harvesting, but that can be saved anyway. What has happened? This also happened to these back here. About 3 weeks ago, we cut the whole row down to about 10 inches high.
So all this is just cut right off.
Right. And in 3 weeks, this is how much it's grown back.
It's come back real nice.
It likes our hot summers here in Oklahoma. Another herb that we would put in our Italian herb mixture would be thyme.
Thyme? The bees certainly seem to be enjoying your thyme.
Thyme is considered one of the bee herbs. Bees use it for the nectar in it, make a lot of honey. They plant fields of thyme on the East Coast just so the bees will work it for thyme-flavored honey. We prefer not to use it like this because the flavor is less in the plant itself. We like it when it's more in the succulent stage, more leaf stage. We just cut it like this. It's still a little bit stemmy. The more we cut it, the more succulent the stems are. But most chefs will go ahead and just strip the stem and use the leaf in their Italian herb mixtures. They use it in other things also. One of the other herbs that you would use in your Italian mixture would be garlic.
And that would be the finishing touch for your herbs?
Yes, and that's everyone's personal preference how much you use.
Now, on these fresh cut herbs, how do you store them and how long can you store them?
Most of them will keep maybe 2 weeks in the refrigerator. They're comparable to most of your lettuces. They like to be cool. Don't put them in a lot of moisture. They'll turn into slime just like lettuce will. But you can keep them in the refrigerator. If you don't want to use all of it at once, you can go ahead and dry it or even chop it up and freeze it.